Her silence following the recent defamation case that has been filed against her by Priya Kapur. Now, in her statements amid the escalating family inheritance battle over Sanjay's massive estate, Mandhira described the situation as unfortunate, but affirmed that it is true Sanjay was actually involved in certain matters central to the dispute. Here's that exclusive interview. The inheritance battle has only intensified. Charges and counter-charges. The matter has now reached the court. Many say that where lies the truth on this very issue? I'm joined by Sunjay Kapur's sister, Mandhira Kapur. Mandhira, thank you very much for once again speaking to Republic TV. I want to start by asking you the latest plea that has been filed by your mother. What has surprised many is the fact that your mother makes a mention of the alleged role of Sunjay Kapur. The very fact that in the plea there is a mention of the fact that in a dishonest manner, there was a collusion between Priya Kapur and Sunjay Kapur, taking away what essentially belonged to your mother. Why suddenly make a mention of Sunjay Kapur, if at all you all believe that this was perhaps a conspiracy hatched by Priya?
We have to talk about the reality of what has happened. And it's unfortunate that this is stuff we are finding out now. And it's something we have to call out, because this the entire estate of my father's was left to my mother, and it was to be divided after my mother's sole beneficiary. It was to be divided between all the three siblings and the what was 6 grandchildren now are 7. So a lot is coming to light right now, and it's unfortunate that my brother was a part of this conspiracy, but we need to get to the bottom of how, when, why, what, all of that, which we are in the process of doing.
By reading this particular plea, I get a sense, Mandhira, that somewhere down the line, you all believe that Priya Kapur was perhaps putting some pressure on your brother. Is that the indication that you all are giving, that perhaps he was forced to basically sign the will, or more importantly, hand over the entire assets to a particular trust that you all say does not even exist?
So as far as the will goes, that's in court, and we're waiting for, the judgment on that. So I'm not going to comment on that. As far as the trust goes, we are trying to get to the bottom of what has happened. My brother was not the kind of person to have, I don't think was the kind of person to have done this. So, we all have feelings. We have to come out with what the truth was of it. And that will happen in court, in the proper judicial system, with the law, and we will speak the truth as we always have, and we will come to the bottom and the conclusion of what has happened.
I also want to put the spotlight on what Karishma Kapoor's children, Sunjay Kapur's children, have to essentially say about this entire inheritance battle. The very fact that they had absolutely no idea about even the worth of this entire estate that you're essentially talking about. The inheritance battle, 30,000 crore is what it is being pegged. But the children say that we do not have any idea about it. I want to ask you, is Mandhira Kapur, Rani Kapoor fully backing the claims that have now been made by Sunjay Kapur's children?
The thing is, none of us were aware, because this family's been very, our father raised us very differently. We want to make sure the grandchildren get what dad wanted them to get, which is, a part of what should be equally divided between the grandkids. And there is a lot more for even, my brother's kids to get than what they've gotten right now. It is, they've not gotten what they should get, and none of us have. I mean, considering my mother's alive and she's not got anything. That is not my father's intention ever. My father was very clear about my mother being the sole beneficiary and the grandkids being looked after. And right now, none of the grandkids have anything. And even my brother's kids have nothing. Well, those two don't, for sure. So, we're in this together, and we have to make sure the grandkids are secure. Dad was only about the grandkids. The kids, it was mom first, the grandkids, and then the 3 of us. So we need to make sure our children are all secure, and my brother's kids do need to be secure. Because my brother's not here now, and my mom's the head of the family, and she needs to make sure they are looked after as well.
I also want to ask you this because, Mandhira, you are with your mother right now in London. What's her condition, given the fact that it seems from this particular plea that you're also fighting a battle for Sunjay Kapur's children, Karishma Kapoor's children? What is it that Rani Kapoor has to say on this entire issue, particularly about the fact that the children have essentially been left out?
She is, and she's very, she's very strong right now. She's very clear on what she wants. She's very clear on the fact that she has to get everything that she and dad built back. And she's very clear that she has to look after the grandchildren, like I said. And she's, she's got that on her head now. She's got the pressure of that. So, we want to make sure she does what she has to do while she's alive. And, she's 80 years old. So we want to make sure she's happy and she lives a happy life, whatever she has. What has happened with her is extremely unfair. She's lost her husband, she's lost her son, she's lost the legacy which they've built together. So we want to make sure she has that peace.
Mandhira, I believe it is but necessary that people really ought to know about where does Karishma Kapoor really stand on this entire issue. Of course, she does not have much of a say as far as the inheritance battle is concerned. It will be more of her children. But I believe that you have also been in touch with Karishma Kapoor. What is it that she has to say on this entire matter?
Like any mother, she wants to make sure kids are secure.
Right.
They've had a big loss in their life. She's a brilliant support system for her children, and she wants to make sure her kids are secure. And they've anyway had such a big loss. And
Has
I
Priya,
think the future.
has Priya basically cut her off? Has Priya cut off Karishma Kapoor, or were there attempts that Karishma Kapoor was trying to make with Priya Sunjay Kapoor so that this situation could have been amicably solved?
I'm not sure about that. I have no idea about that. That's not something we talk about. But all I can say is I know that that Lolo Karishma does have her kids first, their interest first, and their interest only. And we have to, like I said, we have to make sure that those kids are really secure. They've had a very big loss, and our heart goes out to them, and we want to make sure they're secure.
Right. I want to ask you one final question with regards to some of the charges that have been leveled against you, your mother,
Yeah.
and I believe a few others who have also been mentioned in a criminal defamation case that has been registered. Now here, what's important to point out from the complaint that has been filed is that they say that it's a malicious campaign that has been started, not directly by you perhaps, but by proxies of Mandhira Kapur as well as Karishma Kapoor. These are some charges that have been leveled against you. Matter is going to come up in the court too. I want your response on this because these are some very serious charges that Priya is making right now.
I don't know who the proxies are because I've been quite vocal with everyone and everything I've stated is either in court or the truth. And you can question me about anything, my story will stick the same. I've not maligned or been malicious or anything. If the truth is what it is, there's nothing I can do about it.
And what is
I'm
the
not
truth?
here to lie.
What is Mandhira's
The
truth
truth-
here?
The truth is that no one can walk away with our legacy and we will get it back. That is the truth. Now, whatever's gone on will all, and I keep saying the truth will come out. The fact that you can throw and say criminal defamation and all this, it's fine, but let's make sense of it. What is the defamation here? What bit is the defamation? She may not like what is being said, but then I can't help it if it's the truth, and I can't help it if it's been called out in court. I mean, I'm not saying anything that which is defaming. I'm literally telling the truth. So it is what it is. What do you do?
One final question before I let you go, Mandhira, because I'm going back to the plea. Because in the plea, when you make an assertion about Sunjay Kapur getting in collusion with his wife, you are somewhere down the line insinuating against your own brother. Rani Kapoor is insinuating against her own son. Does that not really work against the very basis of this entire claim?
Listen, we are here simply to get my father's estate back to my mother who has been cut out. We have to come to the bottom of how it happened. Unfortunately, my brother was involved in it. How he was involved, why he got involved, that is all what we want to understand. He is not here for us to ask him today. It's not in his character what he has done, especially to his mother. So that is what we are also wondering about. We also want answers to this. We are lost. We're in a space that we don't understand most of it. We're lost about why and how this has happened. And we want the truth as well. And it's very unfortunate and sad that we have to point a finger on my brother who is not here. But we want to understand how and why it happened. There has to be a reason, because this is not in his character to have done. And again, I'm going to say, not to his mother, not to his own children. I mean, it's just all, nothing that has happened with this entire thing makes sense to this family. And that's what is just, we need peace, we need understanding, we need closure on this.
Well, thank you very much, Mandhira, for sparing the time and speaking to us and putting this into perspective. We'll be watching the proceedings very closely. Thank you once again.